Greetings fellow tank commanders. In this video I'm going to be showing you a game that I played in the Turtle and giving you my first impression of this tank. This is a tier 8 Mercenary premium light tank with regular matchmaking. The game I'm playing is a team destruction battle on Kasserine Pass with tier 10 as the top tier and 2 artillery on each team. For this game, my tank is equipped with a gun rammer, improved ventilation, and a vertical stabilizer, and I am using a mercenary crew which has 4 crew skills and perks. Being bottom tier, I definitely didn't want to overextend too early in the game, so I was just driving back and forth here away from my other 2 light tank teammates, and waiting for an opportunity to present itself. It didn't take long for a light tank to start swarming one of my heavy tanks. A nice big shot there to start off the game. In terms of mobility, I find the Turtle handles pretty average for a tier 8 light tank. It's got a 60 km/h top speed, which is a little on the low side for tier 8 lights, but still very fast, and it has a 38.57 horsepower to ton ratio, which is very helpful for maintaining that high speed when going uphill. It's got a 42 degrees per second track traverse speed, which I find makes it a little awkward to do circles around tanks. I think after getting used to the tank it'll be manageable though, and especially to experienced light tank players. And has a 52 degrees per second turret traverse speed, which I find matches up with the mobility quite well. All the other basic stats are about what you would expect for a light tank. A 400 meter view range, 1100 hit points, and all around soft armor. The main thing about this tank is the 122mm howitzer, with the HE rounds doing an average of 660 damage when they get a full penetration, which you're really only getting on the most lightly armored tanks. Otherwise though, when you hit most enemies you can do splash damage for about 1 to 300, with the exception of the heavily armored tanks of course. Outside of the HE you have the heat rounds, which deal an average of 510 damage, which is still very substantial for a light tank. So when you come across armor that's relatively thin but still a little too thick for your HE rounds, you can switch over to the heat rounds and do more reliable damage. And you can also use the heat rounds against the lightly armored vehicles, if for whatever reason you're not enjoying using the HE rounds. Obviously this is a great damage output per shot for a light tank, so it has some nice offensive potential, but as you would expect the reliability takes a big hit even outside of the penetration. With an accuracy of 0.62 and an aim time of 3.8, you're subject to missing a lot of shots, but you have the HE rounds to just do damage when you hit a tank in general, and with the mobility and experienced light tank players should be able to find more than enough situations to get in close. So it is unwieldy but still manageable. One thing you definitely have to watch out for is your long reload time. With the gun rammer and improved ventilation, I have my reload down to about 15 seconds. This is quite a long reload, so make sure you don't overextend too much, and try to coordinate with your team when you're doing an assault move. That way if the shot doesn't go your way, you can still get out of there. So far this has been a fun tank for me to use, but in order to get those top results you really have to work at your strategies. You gotta focus on things like selecting the right targets, timing your shots right, keeping an eye on the tactical situation for those assault moves, and just knowing when to sit back and wait and just unload a few HE shells, splashing the enemy for a few hundred damage. All light tanks do have to focus on these things anyways, but with the long reload time I find this tank less forgiving. This tank's got a 10% XP earning bonus and a 40% silver earning bonus, and I found the silver earnings to be quite good so far, and so I would definitely consider running food if you want to make your tank a little more reliable. So far this game I've mostly just been paying attention to the tactical situation and just using my mobility to help out my team in a variety of situations, supporting teammates while they're being flanked, a hit and run, hunting the arties, and now I'm just helping with the cleanup here. One thing to definitely watch out for is the slow shell speed, so be careful auto-locking on any moving target, and get as close as you can to minimize those chances of unlucky misses. With only one tank remaining here, I was tempted to just charge right at him, but I decided to take my time, go along the flank, and come at him from behind as a surprise attack. This heavy tank is still playing, but not showing much of a reaction to me. And you see after that first shot there, only 200 damage with the HE round on his rear armor. So I've switched to my heat rounds now so I can reliably do a good amount of damage. This is definitely an ideal situation to use the heat rounds, but I've been happy with the variety of situations I've been able to use them so far, outside of a perfect situation like this. Oh yeah, nice ammo rack to finish off the game. Now I just wanted to quickly show a few screenshots from the server replay. This is what the heavy tank was shooting at the end there, and then 2 funny shots of me destroying his ammo rack. Now let's check the post-game stats and see how I did. For this game I earned 191,000 silver with a 25% multiplier and 10,000 from an op, and 3,188 experience without any multipliers. Just a heads up that you get double the crew XP for your mercenary tanks until October 15th. In this game I dealt 4,339 damage, assisted with 507 damage, and destroyed 3 enemies. This earned me high caliber and a mastery badge ace tanker. I placed at the top of my team, earning a base XP of 1,932. I managed to hit 10 of my 13 shots and deal damage with all of those. In terms of crew and module damage, I damaged the turret and radio and injured the commander and gunner in the AMX 13105, damaged the fuel tank in the Yazi, injured the radio operator and driver in the M4043, injured the commander in the Batchat 25T, damaged the turret in the AMX 1390, and destroyed the ammo rack in the VK 45.02B. This tank definitely has a lot of potential to deal crew and module damage. Well, that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing that game in the Turtle, and that my first impression will help you decide whether this tank is a good addition to your garage. It offers some fun light tank challenges with a high offensive potential. Stay tuned for more awesome World of Tanks videos.